everyone. This podcast is part of Story Mode, the podcast network of Gamefully Unemployed. You can support us and gain access to other great exclusive podcasts at patreon.com/gamefullyunemployed. That's patreon.com/GAMEFULLY unemployed, which is spelled like it sounds.
Awards. When are the Oscars?
They announced the nominations Monday.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, so when maybe we can do like a watch party or something. That might be fun.
Yeah, that might be fun. Depending on
It's gonna be a fucking weird year for Oscars.
Oh yeah. Look, it's gonna be a weird podcast. Hi everybody.
Hello everyone.
My name is David Bell.
My name is Tom Ryman.
And we just watched Judas and the Black Messiah. The sequel to Get Out?
I mean, it has like 3 of the principal cast members in it, yeah.
That's why, Look, I'm going to find the jokes where I can get them here.
Yeah, and then Lil Rel shows up at the end. I was like, oh man, it's another person from Get Out.
Yeah. All right, buckle up, everyone.
Yeah.
This just left HBO, so I guess sorry.
Yeah. Probably should have got to this earlier.
Yeah,
I mean,
but I'm glad we did.
It's in theaters if you're vaccinated and theaters are open.
Yeah, if you're vaccinated and theaters still exist where you live, you can see this. Otherwise, I don't know. I'm sure it'll be right back on streaming soon enough.
It didn't take Wonder Woman long. Like Wonder Woman was gone for a little bit, and then it came to VOD and Blu-ray.
You're right.
So I
think
it
won't take long. Yeah.
Yeah, like another month or two, this will probably be on VOD or Blu-ray.
Yeah. But yes, I guess spoilers. Although this is like history.
Yeah, and also, I mean, you guys know the deal. We spoil the movies when we talk about them.
Yeah. So yeah, this is a fucking hell of a movie. Daniel Kaluuya, Keith Stanfield, who fucking Christ, I like, he's just killing it.
Yeah, he's really good. Yeah, just in everything. And
sorry to bother you.
Yeah.
We got Jesse Plemons in there. Being Jesse Plemons,
playing a Jesse Plemons role.
I have nothing against Jesse Plemons, but like,
no,
we really like him.
I think he's great at. I mean, he's great at a lot of things.
He is.
But he's surprisingly good as a sinister character.
Yeah, it's just I like that Hollywood was like, we love this man. We're putting him in everything.
Yeah,
and it's like, all right, sure, fucking sure.
Yeah.
This is directed by Shaka King, who this is the first thing of theirs I've seen.
Yeah, it's got a lot of like Ryan Coogler produced it, like the Lucas brothers co-wrote and produced it.
Shaka King and a man named Will Burson. Sorry, I only bring him up. He co-wrote it and also did writing for Scrubs.
Sure.
So yeah, whatever. Yeah, holy shit. It's based on a true story.
Yeah, it's about the FBI assassination of Fred Hampton.
Yeah. So it's a real goddamn bummer.
Yeah.
What did you think of this movie, by the way?
I thought it was really good.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. It's a controversial opinion, I know.
There's a lot here. There's the fact that there's the fact that these just the 3 actors I mentioned, like, you ever get that feeling you're watching like Goodfellas of now, where it's like, I don't mean in terms of plot, I just mean in terms of like people looking back and being like,
in terms
wow.
of what its cultural impact is going to be.
Yeah, or like not even cultural impact, because I'm afraid that people probably won't see this movie because of the situation.
Sad. Yeah, and I mean, and also most theaters are still closed.
Yeah, that too.
So it's like,
but it's not like Goodfellas isn't a movie that you feel like really bummed out at the end. But I guess what I mean is just looking back and being like, wow, all that talent in one movie.
Yeah, for sure.
Where it's like, just watching these people work, it's fucking great.
Yeah, Daniel Kaluuya especially. I mean, they're all great. But man, he's killing it as Fred Hampton in this movie. He's very, very good.
So it's about the FBI using this guy. What's his name?
Bill O'Neill.
Bill O'Neill. Yeah. To infiltrate the Black Panther Party. Mm-hmm. They catch him like imitating an FBI agent to
steal cars. Such a good scam.
It's a great scam. I don't know if I'm sure a lot of this was changed, right?
I don't know if that was something they dreamed up for the movie or not. I know he did get caught by the FBI with a stolen car, and that's how they
because they do the thing where they dramatically give him back his badge near the end, and it's like that. I'm sure that didn't happen. I mean, but whatever. It doesn't matter. I'm trying to judge this as a movie as opposed to. I'm trying to, in my mind, separate it from the real life event as much as possible. Yeah. But I thought that was a perfect way to introduce that character because...
He's pretending to be something, yeah.
Yeah, pretending to be something else, a kind of a scam artist.
Mm-hmm. Doesn't really care about...
No, just trying... But, at the same time, there's this through line throughout about capitalism and communism in this... Or I guess socialism in this...
Well, they're saying communism. I think the feds are saying communism, but Fred Hampton's talking about socialism. Yeah,
where the feds are using capitalism to destroy this guy. Because this guy, Bill, they basically promise him a life. Mm-hmm. They're promising him the promise of capitalism, which is like, look, you infiltrate the Black Panthers, you give us information... We'll slip you some money. We'll take you out to some nice meals. Mm-hmm. Jesse Plemons got this family, Yeah. And it's like the American dream being dangled in front of this guy who's sort of like, seems like he was a scam artist.
Yeah.
And it's, God damn. And it's about him slowly helping to destroy this other man who has those things, who's getting those things too. He's getting a family. He's getting the American dream in his own way. Mm-hmm. And is also revolutionary, and it's just so fucking gut-wrenching.
It is,
when you realize how it's going to go.
Yeah, and then all the people...
Yeah.
Like this, I think one of the things this movie does really well is it doesn't try to soften what Bill O'Neill did, if that makes sense.
It shows everybody for who they are. As far again, I keep saying this because this is just how movies work. I'm sure they change things to make it more dramatic, but they don't like handhold the audience, and they just sort of show like, well, the Black Panthers also did some violent stuff, but ultimately you feel like they're on the right side of history.
Right. Yeah. The movie doesn't. I like that. Yeah. That it showed kind of like there's a couple of scenes where they just get into gunfights with the police, and and they talk about an informant that they tortured to death.
And they talk about it like it's a war.
Yeah, and
because
I
that's
like
how they think of it.
Yeah, I appreciate that the movie doesn't really. You're right. It doesn't really moralize to you. It's just like, here's everything.
Yeah, it really. That's it definitely. There's definitely the right side and wrong side of history being displayed here. Mm-hmm. But for example, this guy Bill O'Neill, who eventually does something horrible, unforgivable. Spoilers, the last thing about him is he gave an interview in the 90s and then killed himself that night. And it was like, Jesus fucking Christ. Mm-hmm. But he's not a villain. He's kind of the main character. He's our protagonist.
He is. He is the main character.
And so it's about what this again, the American dream being dangled where it's the same idea from I forget her name, the woman who's pregnant with his child, it's the same hope of like, I like she says to him, like, he's getting born in a war zone, and about how like part of her just wants a fucking family.
Yeah.
There's that moment where he
Deborah,
decides,
that's her name, Deborah.
Yeah, where he decides whether or not to go on the run at the end.
Yeah, they're all like discussing where they could hide Fred because he's about to go back to God. He's about to go back to jail. So if you want to be pissed off, man.
Yeah. If you want to be pissed off. It's very interesting.
It's a good movie, but holy shit. Yeah,
the movie is very formatted, very interesting because just bringing up mob movies, like it's sort of a mob movie, like The Departed.
Yeah.
But you're on the side of the quote unquote mob. Like, or at least I was, where it's like they're still not good people, but their cause is they don't show them to be the good guys, but they have this beautiful moment with fucking J. Edgar Hoover, played by Martin Sheen, and looking like the Penguin.
Yeah, they had some fun gluing shit to his face.
I feel like they had a lot of fun with Martin Sheen. Yeah. They're like, you know what this is, Martin. Yeah. If we could give you a mustache to twirl, we would. But there's an amazing scene with fucking him and Jesse Plemons where he dog whistles the shit out of him, where he says to him, what are you going to do when your daughter brings home a black man? And Jesse Plemons doesn't quite understand what he's saying. And it's right when they're like deciding, I think.
It's when they decide to assassinate Fred Hampton, yeah.
Yeah, and he makes it very clear without saying it, like, this is a war, we need to stay on top, we being white people.
Yes.
Like, it's J. Edgar Hoover basically saying to him, look, this is about white supremacy. And they are, and so, like, yeah, it is, at least in this story, a war. It's the FBI going to war with the Black Panther Party. And it's fucking brutal. Because the FBI wins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's so many good just performance scenes in this movie.
There's a lot. I mean,
like the scene where they make him hotwire the car. The scene where they're getting into the shootout and he runs.
Right. Again,
like he runs away.
Those are scenes like out of The Departed, where it's like you're watching someone who has to be slippery, who has to be
a coward,
deceitful. I mean, it's called Judas and the Black Messiah.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. And it is very much like he's preaching stuff like socialism and the government kills him, executes him, and he is betrayed by someone closest to him.
Yeah, and they're like, in one of those scenes, Jesse Plemons is like, is telling him like the Black Panthers are the same as the KKK. And then in another scene, we see like Fred Hampton is uniting like a Puerto Rican gang and also like a white church to his cause. So it's like, I don't think they're the same, man.
Right. They did that very well too, because they were showing, because there's this thing throughout, again, with socialism versus capitalism, where they showed that the Black Panther Party is like, no, this is about class. Like, we're going to get everybody together because we're all on the same side. We're all getting murdered by cops.
Yeah. We're all the one. What does he say? It's like you take away the masters, but we're the slaves are still doing all the work.
Yeah, and they do that again without like really shoving it in your face. It all feels very like this movie is surprisingly not preachy about what it's pushing on you.
Yeah, like what I said.
Pushing is even the wrong word.
Yeah,
like it's just presenting something that's just like, isn't this fucked up?
It doesn't moralize. No. It just kind of shows here's the different side. Here's all the different sides of this event. And I mean, there is, like the correct side is obvious, but it's like you arrive at that conclusion because you're not
it doesn't need to moralize.
Yeah.
I'm sure the correct side isn't, I'm sure if you're, Ben Shapiro watching this, you're just right there with Jesse Plemons.
They're dangerous. They have guns.
Yeah, exactly. But like, the point is that of course, is horribly relevant to today. It's a lot of like, look at this, the cops are executing activists. Can you believe that? And it's like, I sure can.
I sure can.
I sure can. And socialism is being, demonized by the government and so on and so forth. And I feel like it's what that Aaron Sorkin movie was trying to do. And didn't do. Because it was an Aaron Sorkin movie. Because the Aaron Sorkin movie does the opposite, where it feels like it's really shoving it in your face.
Because it's Aaron Sorkin.
It's really Sorkining it at you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
This, on the other hand, is, I don't know. It's just a good movie too, because because again, there's that framing it from this guy's point of view really worked out.
Yeah. Because he's in both worlds.
Exactly. And you kind of are like, oh no, what happens when he gets caught? Is he gonna do the right thing? Like, I forgot what I was watching, and it was like, is he gonna do the right thing? And it was like,
no,
right,
he's not.
No, he's not.
In his defense, they keep, like, Jesse Plemons essentially says he's going to throw him in prison for like 5 years if he doesn't. He kind of doesn't have a choice, even though he is being. But it's paid
perfect
for it. Yeah, it's perfect.
It's perfect capitalism, because they are like, you're going to go to jail for 5 years, or you do this stuff and we're going to keep giving you money. And at the very end, he basically he drugs Fred Hampton.
Yep.
And in a gut-wrenching scene, the cops come in and shoot up the place, and his pregnant girlfriend has to hear as they execute him in the other room because he hasn't woken up because he's drugged.
Mm-hmm.
And then Bill O'Neill like meets with fucking Jesse Plemons, and he's like, here, we got you a gas station. And it's like perfect capitalism, where it's like, here you go. Here's your bootstraps, sir. Yep. You can pull yourself up by a shitty gas station that you never asked for. To come. Your reward is joining capitalism.
Yep.
It's not like, we're not going to give you money or anything. We're giving you a shot, young man.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, what a fucking perfect gut punch.
Yeah. And like Fred Hampton, they're working to like open a medical center, and like they have they arrest him while he's while they're doing like a neighborhood outreach thing, like feeding kids breakfast.
Yeah. For stealing ice cream.
$70 of ice cream.
Yeah.
They were sending Fred Hampton to jail for 5 years.
Yeah.
And yeah, his reward for cutting the legs off of this movement that was helping the community is, here's a shitty gas station you never asked for that you can maybe earn a living, or maybe you won't. I don't know, but here you go.
It's Jesse Plemons, by the way, because they do a good job with him, because at the beginning of the film you're kind of wondering where he falls.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot of this. There's parts where you feel like he's going to make a moral like judgment in the right direction.
Mm-hmm.
For example, when J. Edgar Hoover asks him about his daughter, he's like clearly uncomfortable about it.
Yeah, he doesn't want to answer the question.
And so there's this, like, his character has sort of an arc as a villain, which is the decision to become a villain. Mm-hmm. The later we find out the informant stuff is fucking wild too.
Yeah.
There's a guy comes to that chapter, the Chicago Black Panther Party, and is like, I killed an informant and now I need to hide out. And then fucking Bill goes to the FBI and like, hey, they have a guy there that you could get. Jesse Plemons goes to his boss and is like, so we have this, they're harboring a fugitive, we could get him. And they're like, oh, we know. He's the informant.
Yeah.
And he actually just accused someone else and they tortured and killed that person. So you realize that this horrible thing that, yes, the Black Panthers participated in was facilitated by the FBI.
Yeah, it was entrapment.
And then he's going around on an entrapment tour, basically, pretending to be. And so, like, you realize the FBI doesn't give a shit about killing people either. And Jesse Plemons has a moment again where he hears this, and you can tell he doesn't like it. And then he learns to live with it.
Yep. Like way too many of us do.
Yeah. It's really that there's that aspect of it. People just sort of swallowing it like,
yeah,
because they have too much to lose. He has a house, he has a family, he has all these things that was given to him. And that's the whole thing. That's what Fred Hampton is preaching, is to not be under that pressure of having to do things you don't believe in to survive.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, he's assassinated for that.
Oh, yeah. Everybody is.
Yeah.
Historically.
Right. And at the same time, again, the movie shows that it's like, yeah, they also they start fights with cops. They go after cops too. They do stuff that is illegal, and immoral.
Yeah, murder.
Yeah. So again, it doesn't sugarcoat any of it.
No,
it doesn't Sorkin it.
It definitely doesn't Sorkin it.
Yeah, and like it makes you feel just fucking bummed.
Yeah, it was. Gosh.
Yeah, but it's so good.
Yeah, it's very, very well done. Man, I don't know. This is always a tough one.
What, when it's a good movie?
When it's a good movie,
When we were trying to decide what to pick, that's why I was like, we should probably watch that shitty Bruce Willis movie, because those are always like, it's Bruce Willis in space, and he's wearing like armor, and it's like, there's got to be shit to talk about there.
We can talk about
nuts.
that piece of shit for 40 minutes easy.
Yeah, this is like, those are movies where it's like I can take notes because I don't give a shit. This is a movie where it's like, no, I'm going to pay attention to it.
Yeah,
because it's so fucking good.
There is something that I wanted. It weirdly made me think of Mank. For reasons I'll explain. At the end, when it's showing us all like the epilogue title cards, and it points out that Fred Hampton was only 21 when he was killed. Yeah. And Bill O'Neill was like 19 at the time.
Yeah.
So I wonder, the actors are so good, but I almost wish they would have cast people closer to that age, because I feel like that's an element of it that, I don't know, it's just, like watching the movie.
They were kind of close. They're in their maybe early 30s.
Yeah, but like the real life guys were so young.
It is important to note because
there's something to that.
There's something to the fact that, like, if you realize that these are fucking babies. Mm-hmm. Because, I would say Fred Hampton, it's like, that makes sense because young people have that sort of fucking energy. Bill O'Neill, I think it's really important. Yes. Because you realize what they're doing to him. Mm-hmm. That they are absolutely manipulating this person who is barely old enough to make decisions.
Yeah.
That is important.
Yeah, so I wonder if, I don't know, it's...
honestly, I wouldn't recast it just because of the people they got.
Yeah, the people are so good.
Just because Lakeith Stanfield is like fucking terrific. If you don't remember, he's in Knives Out as well. Mm-hmm. Sorry to Bother You, he's the main character. In Get Out, he's the grandfather, right? No, he's the guy.
He's the husband of one of the. Yeah, he gets grabbed in the beginning in the first scene. Yeah, he's he's fucking unstoppable. Yeah, he's really great. Yeah. He was the only good thing in that god awful live action Death Note movie that Adam Wingard made.
I never saw that. He's fucking in it. That's wild. Mm-hmm. And that's sort of the thing about this movie is that, we're talking about it like it's a real bummer.
It is,
and it is, but it's sort of hard. Like, I might watch this again.
Oh, probably, yeah.
Yeah, because just watching like Daniel Kaluuya like give these speeches, these really like charismatic, which I'm sure were based off of real speeches from Fred Hampton. Like they're just he's so good. Yeah. And they have a lot of shit. Who's the rival group?
The Lords or the Thrones? Oh, the Crowns.
Crowns?
Maybe. Was the Crowns?
Crowns. Yeah, they have a lot of compelling moments like that where they have like they're still making a movie, I guess.
Yeah.
So they're showing this
drama.
like again, it's mob movies really oddly enough are the comparison that I keep coming back to cuz the mob movies often have some of the similar things. It's the cops, you're on their side of the mob. Often there's someone who's working for the cops. And there's a like rags to riches appeal. And there's a gaming the system. And it's in a lot of ways it's about capitalism and about a group of disenfranchised people trying to get their own. This is way more sympathetic because these people are not organized crime. They're revolutionaries. They're helping their communities, and they're specifically not out to take advantage of people. So I don't want to make that comparison, you know what I mean? At all. But it's the structure, it's very similar, and they use that to their advantage. So they have the scenes like the hot wiring scene where they kind of take him aside and they put him at gunpoint and they're like, why are they suspicious of him again at that moment?
Because one of the guys from the Thrones or one of the other groups recognizes him as the guy that pretended to be an FBI agent and stole his car.
By the way, the scenes, they do that thing where he's Wild Bill, where and that's pretty fun. Where they make, and again, we've seen it in other movies. They just do it really well, which is that he's endearing himself to the group, and you can't tell for a lot of the movie if like
how he feels about it.
If this was a Hollywood movie, he would warn him at the end.
Yes.
That's the whole thing, is that it's about him hanging out with this group of people undercover, learning that they're really just regular people. Like he has that beginning where he's going to the class or whatever, and he's like, they got bazookas? Like, because he's talking about bazookas, where like he doesn't know what to expect. He's been told they're terrorists. And then he joins them. He's been told
they're the KKK.
Yeah. And he joins them and he's like, no, they're like doing community shit for the most part.
Yeah.
And like political stuff. And then he like endears himself to it by kind of reflecting his attitude in the first scene with him jacking the car, where it's like, it's kind of ridiculous. Like the guy jumps on the car and stabs through the roof.
Stabs through the roof.
He's pretending to be an FBI agent, and then they're like halfway through, they're like, "You're not a fucking FBI agent," and so it's just like a real jackass thing to do. And so like you kind of find him endearing too.
Yeah.
And then they have the scene where they first see the Crowns and they go into the bar, and he picks up a pool cue. Again, like a jackass when they pull out their guns.
Yeah.
And they're like, what are you going to do with the pool cue? And then the guy recognizes him. And so it's like, it's kind of fun. And you kind of, that's where I was like, I forgot what I was watching. Because I forgot how sinister things were really going to get.
Yeah.
And it's sort of a problem, which is why I think most people will like not want to watch this movie, is that it goes in a direction where you think like, oh, I sort of know where this is going, you know?
Yeah.
These two are going to bond. There's going to be a moment where he finds out about the other one. But ultimately, none of that happens. He just gets off scot-free. He betrays this guy. And it all sort of comes to a scene where he, where they're sitting around, where he's at a bar first and they like have a plant be like, hey, you should slip this into his drink. And he refuses at first. And then when they're talking about him leaving the country and whatnot, he like walks up to him and he looks like he's going to cry. And it really feels like he's going to confess to him. And he says, can I get you? I was going to get a drink. Do you want one?
Yep. And then he just doesn't. And he just drugs him and leaves.
Yeah. It's fucking brutal.
Yeah.
Because in a way he doesn't have an arc. They pretend like he's going to have an arc because he, like at that shootout he leaves, he keeps slipping out. And you think like, if this was a Hollywood film, at some point he's going to defy all odds or do something amazing or be a hero.
No, it's just, I guess his arc is just descending more into self-loathing.
Right.
I don't know. Because he doesn't care at first. Like, I guess that's his arc. Like, he still does the thing at the end. Meaning he still betrays them at the end, and he still they show the actual interview footage of the real life Bill O'Neill, and he's still kind of, you can tell he's still like kind of rationalizing.
Yeah, rationalizing. He says they're like, what will you tell your son? And he's like, I think the documentary will speak for itself, which is a big red flag that he's going to take his life. Because it's like, if he's saying like, well, he'll watch the documentary. It's like, oh, will you not be around?
Yeah.
And he says something like, no one can say I wasn't involved. Like I was in it.
Yep.
Which and it's
is
like, yeah,
okay.
you were in it.
You were in it.
That's the whole thing about this fucking movie is it's about it's both lives have been destroyed in two very different ways.
Yeah.
The ray of sunshine, of course, is that Fred Hampton Jr. went on to be the chairman of the new Black Panthers that his mom formed, who, by the way, they're both advisors on this film. Like at the end, they're both credited.
Yeah.
But this story is just, my fucking God.
Yeah, it's pretty wild.
It's about the government destroying these people and not caring, like using one person to destroy another person and not caring about either of them.
Nope.
And there's no fucking, again, small ray of hope at the end.
Right.
But they don't let up.
It is, man, fuck the government, right?
Yeah.
Government sucks.
There's definitely, if I, like what Ben Shapiro would say about this movie, I don't know why we need this, but he would say like, well, that scene with J. Edgar Hoover is made up, and so on and so forth. Like, obviously there's some stuff in this where it's like, it is made with a slant towards, fuck the government.
Yeah, of course.
But, also like, I don't know, it's J. Edgar Hoover.
Yeah. Really?
And again, they're still objective enough where they feel like there's a part where the guy who gets killed in the hospital for killing a cop.
Yep.
The cop begs for his life when he kills him.
And
they don't. Oh, sorry, that's two different people.
He's the guy's friend who was killed in the hospital. Yeah.
And so they make it like that murder of the cop is not cool. Like they don't. Again,
I mean,
don't.
It's all tragic.
It's all fucked.
Yeah.
It's all just people. Like, and there's a right side and a wrong side, but it's all muddled. And I feel like that's the point.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so.
And I do think the movie needed to do that scene with J. Edgar Hoover because they needed to make it very clear. The important thing to note is like, the government kind of started it.
Yeah, no, and that's like legit.
Yeah, and there's a question throughout of violence versus nonviolence. When he first is speaking, people walk out.
Yeah.
Because there's the idea of like, it's do you resort to violence or not when they're being violent to you?
When the other side is being brutally violent.
And honestly, they don't answer that question.
No. I mean,
it's high road versus low road. The answer is almost like it doesn't matter because they're coming at you and they won't fucking stop.
Right, yeah, because, I mean, the movie, like, at one point when Jesse Plemons first recruits Lakeith, he's like, were you mad when Dr. King was killed? Because, like, he was just killed when the movie starts.
Right.
And it's like, yeah, like you said, it's like kind of emphasizing, like, well, it doesn't really matter because they're going to kill you anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they talk in that fatalist way often, like Fred Hampton is talking, assuming he's going to get murdered by a cop or by the government. And he's not wrong.
Martin Luther King's, what is it? Not I Have a Dream. It's the Mount. I might not get to the mountaintop with you. Like the last speech he gave.
Yeah. Yeah, before he was killed by the cigarette smoking man. Because of socialism.
Right.
Yeah. You all know history.
Smoking man, yeah.
Yeah. God damn, the X-Files.
The X-Files.
They're everywhere. It's everywhere. Yeah, is Jesse Plemons hanging out with Bill Mulder? Probably.
I hope so. Probably.
God, there's no humor to be taken from this movie.
It's hard, yeah.
All I can say is that they made fucking Martin Sheen look like the Penguin.
Yeah,
like
he looks like a real ghoul.
That's my only note. That is actually my only note is because I love this movie. I thought it was really well crafted, really good movie. Unconventional editing techniques, a lot of stuff that popped out. But you don't need to make Martin Sheen look like J. Edgar Hoover. We can look at him and go, yeah, that's more or less J. Edgar Hoover for you.
Sure. Well, and I don't have any idea what J. Edgar Hoover looks like.
Exactly. That's what I mean is like, it's just like, just tell me, oh, there's Martin Sheen, he's J. Edgar Hoover. And it's like, gotcha. Don't need the makeup effects. He looked like they did something to his mouth. Like where he was like Dana Carvey in Master of Disguise looking. Where he had like that turtle look.
It just looks waxen.
Yeah. Like it is the only hit against this film is I think when Martin Sheen shows up, I was like, bah. Like, ew, what did you do to him?
Yeah, it was a real horror show. Like, what is this?
Happened?
What's happening here? What are we doing?
See, that's something funny about this fucking tragic movie.
Yep.
I hope people don't listen to this and they're like, nah, never mind, I'm not going to watch that. I mean, some people were never going to watch it, but like, I don't know. This was, as a movie, it was very good. It's just fucking heavy.
Yeah, it's pretty fucked, but it's really good.
Yeah, really good, pretty fucked. Government, government's terrible.
Down with the government.
Can we say that legally? Yeah, probably.
Yeah, sure we can.
Yeah, take down the government. Shit, yeah, I think that's all I got to say about this fucking movie.
This is going to be...
It's a short one.
Kind of a short one. It's fine. It's all fine.
I don't know, do we want to fill some time?
Nah.
I guess I'm going to ask someone a question. That person being the viewers. So the Oscars is coming up. We're not going to have enough time to cover all the movies, right?
No.
Is there one that people are want us to cover? One of them artsy ones.
Yeah.
Like I'll watch that Bruce Willis one, but I don't want to. That's the other thing. Is like the decision today was like I do want to watch Come True, but that's going to be out for a while.
Yeah.
Is like this was just leaving and it was like, yeah, we could watch like that Bruce Willis thing, but I want to watch this.
Yeah. I don't want to watch Bruce Willis be bored in space.
Exactly. Like this kept my attention. This captivated me. And so it's just nice to watch a good movie.
Yeah. Yep.
I really appreciate that.
The end credits roll, you're just
chaos walking or whatever. Yeah.
Just like that was a good movie.
Yeah. So like, I don't know, Sound of Metal, Nomadland. There's some fucking Oscar bait that I want to see. So maybe we should do that next week. Yeah,
we can see.
Yeah. Cuz we missed the Dragon one, Coming to America. Raya and the Last Dragon.
Oh,
that's out,
right. Yeah. Yep.
But like, I don't want to pay $30.
Yeah. I'm less jazzed about it than I was last year when Mulan came out. I'm like, sure, I'll pay $30 to watch a theatrical movie, and now it's like, what? No.
Why would I? HBO, they're giving that shit out.
They're just giving me that shit.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go watch Tom and Jerry.
Great. Yeah. I mean, next week there's one specific movie that's coming out. Tom. Did you hear about this?
No, I don't know what you mean.
Okay.
Yeah, don't know what you're talking about.
No. No.
Nothing.
What's coming out at the end of the month? Isn't there something coming out March 31st?
I don't know.
I should have looked this up before just saying it.
Yeah, now you look like a real fool.
I'm trying to Google it. Hold on. I keep writing the wrong numbers.
God, man, get yourself under control.
Oh God, I'm on movie phone. Oh no. Oh, it's Godzilla versus Kong. We'll definitely cover that.
Oh
bullshit.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. All right. I'm done. I'm done talking.
I think we're all finished.
Folks, if you're interested, you should check out our Patreon. Patreon.com/gamefullyunemployed. We have exclusive podcasts on there, like Tom and Jeff Watch Batman, and Fox Mulder is a Maniac.
This is all accurate.
For $5 a week, you can get both of those 2 a week. Sorry, $5 a month. $5 a month.
Yes.
So that's like a couple bucks a week.
Yeah,
for
man.
$10 a month, we watch movies with our patrons. Who knows? Maybe we'll watch Judas and the Black Messiah.
Maybe.
We'll all hunker down.
Yeah.
And
that'll be a fun movie to watch while a bunch of idiots talk.
yeah. We'll just talk over it.
You want to watch us talk over that movie, don't you? We also have a store at tpublic.com/store/gameplay deployed where you can get t-shirts, masks, mugs, stickers, posters, all kinds of things. So check that out.
Check it out. Check out our shit.
Yeah, do it.
Don't trust the government.
No, fuck the police.
Fuck the police.
Mm-hmm.
Shit. Anything else?
I think that's pretty much it.
All right. Well, and have a good day.
Oh yeah, do that too. If there's time.
If there's time.
Yeah. After all the other stuff we told you to do.